Honesty must be practiced with other individuals, with institutions, with society, and with self. The inner strength and confidence are bred by exacting truthfulness, trustworthiness, and integrity.
What is honesty? Ang honesty ay ang pagsasabi ng katotohanan. Honesty also involves being trustworthy, loyal, fair, and sincere. For example, choosing not to cheat. Cheating is dishonest while following the rules is honest. And admitting when you were wrong.
Bakit nga ba mahalaga ang honesty o katapatan? Honesty is and will always be the best policy. Telling the truth at all times matters in so many ways, from building your reputation to improving your relationships. Honesty is not just about telling the truth, it's about being real with yourself and others about who you are, what you want, and what you need to live your most authentic life. Honesty promotes openness, empowers us, and enables us to develop consistency in how we present the facts. Honesty sharpens our perception and allows us to observe everything around us with clarity. Honesty is a reflection of your own thoughts and feelings. If you want people to know who you really are, be honest in your self expression.
Courage. This means daring to attempt difficult things that are good. It is the strength not to follow the crowd, to say no and mean it, and influence others by it. It means being true to convictions and following good impulses even when they are unpopular or inconvenient. It means boldness to be outgoing and friendly. Ang salitang courage sa Tagalog ay lakas ng loob. Kapag mayroon tayong lakas ng loob, nasusubukan natin ang mga mahihirap na bagay, ngunit nakabubuti. Ito ay ang lakas na huwag sundin ang sinasabi ng karamihan. Always try until you succeed. Wala namang mawawala. Mas mabuti na yung nagkamali ka, pero nasubukan mo, kesa hindi mo sinubukan na wala ka namang natutunan. Ang simpleng pagsasabi ng salitang hindi ay malaking bagay na para maimpluwensyahan ang maraming tao. Nangangahulugan lamang ito ng pagiging tapat sa mga paniniwala at pagsunod sa mabubuting udyok, kahit na ito ay hindi maginhawa. Sa madaling salita, ito ay ang katapangan na maging palakaibigan.
Ano nga ba ang kahalagahan ng pagkakaroon ng lakas ng loob o courage? Courage gives us the power to chase after things that are important to us. It also bolsters our self-confidence and allows us to believe in our abilities. Likewise, it's important that we realize that courage is not the absence of fear. It gives us the ability to put aside our fear of failure and take the first steps. We will take risks, grow, do more, and become more with courage.
Without courage, life is a plant without water. If you don't have courage to oppose injustice being done against you, you will be crushed under the other person's domination. If you don't have courage, you would not take the risk of doing something new. For example, starting a new business, finding a better job, and etc. Your life may halt where you are never seeing the progress. For example, if you don't have the courage to express your love to your girlfriend or boyfriend, you may lose him or her forever.
Peaceability. This means calmness, peacefulness, and serenity. It is the tendency to accommodate rather than argue. It is the ability to understand how others feel rather than simply by reacting to them. It means the control of temper. What's the meaning of peaceability? Peaceability means calmness and peacefulness and has the ability to control temper when you're in arguing. And rather than getting mad in arguing, it shows calmness and kindness to avoid fighting, because peaceability was get into a word of peace. Peaceability was a word of peace. So what will happen if peaceability was gone? For example, without peaceability, it's hard to communicate to others rather than have a peace conversation, it was ended into arguing or fighting, and without visibility, it will not possible to achieve the levels of trust.
Ano nga ba ang mangyayari pag ang peaceability ay nawala? Without peace, it will not be possible to achieve the levels of trust, cooperation, and inclusiveness needed for societies to be resilient to shocks, manage disputes, and adapt to changes in their environment. Replicating these and other factors in all countries is vital, but to do so means being able to identify the factors that create and sustain peaceful societies to begin with. Without this, it will not be possible to develop the programs, create the policies, or understand the resources required to build peaceful and resilient societies facing unprecedented global change.
Self-reliance and potential. These refer to the individuality, awareness, and development of gifts and uniqueness. One must take responsibility for one's own actions. The tendency to blame others for difficulties must be overcome. One must have a commitment to personal excellence.
Ano nga ba ang self-reliance and potential? Self-reliance and potential, as we have called it, is a powerful value. Those who have it helps others by accepting responsibility and doing their best in the world. Those who don't have it hurt others by blaming them and by failing to develop the gifts and talents that could serve us or enlighten or benefit other people. One who reaches his potential helps others in many ways as he develops himself. One who never seeks his potential indirectly hurt others by not doing the good or setting the example he is capable of. This value is about trying to know ourselves, to do our best, and to accept the consequences both of who we are and what we do. One way to think of the self-reliance and potential is as a two sides of the same coin. Self-reliance has a lot to do with taking the blame or the responsibility for negative things that happen. Potential has a lot to do with taking a little credit and taking the right kind of pride in what we are able to become and what we are able to accomplish. When we take blame and responsibility, we resolve and grow to improve. When we don't, we become bitter, jealous, and defensive. When we take positive pride in what we're doing with ourselves and our gifts, we feel the growth of individuality and self-esteem. When we don't, we tend to become followers or plodders in the standard routes of life.
Reliance is important because it allows you to feel happy by yourself, in yourself, and about yourself without needing to rely on others. It involves developing self-acceptance, a very powerful thing to have. It involves acquiring self-knowledge and practicing self-compassion. It gives you a perspective which turn gives you direction. Self-reliance and potential. This value is about trying to know ourselves, to do our best, and to accept the consequences both of who we are and what we do.
Self-discipline and moderation. Those refers to physical, mental, and financial self-discipline. This involve moderation in speaking, in eating, and exercising. This also include the controlling and bridling one's own appetite and understanding the limits of body and mind. This means avoiding the dangers of extreme unbalanced viewpoint. Self-discipline is the ability to push yourself forward, stay motivated, and take action regardless on how you're feeling, physically or emotionally. Moderation is the process of eliminating or lessening extremes. It is used to ensure normality throughout the medium on which is being conducted. Examples: avoid acting rashly and impulsively. Carry out the promises and decisions you make to yourself and to others. Break a bad habits and also make a wise and healthy choices. Self-discipline allows you to stay focused on your goals. It enables you to stay control of yourself and your reaction to any situation. Self-discipline and moderation pave a way for a healthy and joyful life.
When we talk about self-discipline and moderation, like what have read in the PowerPoint earlier, that it is also refers to our physical, mental, and financial self-discipline. So what if a person is lack or not having self-discipline and moderation in his or his life? This might lead to an unhappy and unhealthy life living of a person. In today's generation, most of Filipino people, especially those youth, being obsessed over watching K-drama because of their entertainment. But for some point, we should also consider our limits in terms of doing things that makes us happy. But because of people are being addicted in watching, the issue is they not having enough sleep that may affect their health. So that is why moderation is important because it paves way for a healthy and joyful life. Everything we do should be limited because too much is harmful. Fidelity and chastity. This refers to the value and security of fidelity within marriage and of restraint and limits before marriage. This involves the commitment that go with marriage and that should go with sex. Fidelity in Tagalog is katapatan, while chastity is kalinisang puri. This means that it is having a complete loyalty to one's spouse without any sexual contact with anyone before the marriage. Some Christians, they choose not to have sex before marriage because they believe that all forms of sex outside of marriage are wrong. And this is according to their beliefs.
Fidelity and chastity. This refers to the value and security of fidelity within marriage and of restraint and limits before marriage. This involves the commitment that go with marriage and that should go with sex. The law of chastity applies to both men and women. It includes strict abstinence from sexual relations before marriage and completely fidelity and loyal to one's spouse after marriage. The law of chastity requires that sexual relations be reserved for marriage between a man and a woman. Sa madaling salita, ang batas na kalinisang puri ay naaangkop sa kapwa lalaki at babae. Kabilang dito ang mahigpit na pag-iwas sa pagkipagtalik bago ang kasal o sa hindi pa ikinakasal. Well, kidding aside, the effect of chastity on marital stability and satisfaction. Their marriages are more stable and more fulfilling. Researchers have even found that couples who did not have sex before marriage report greater sexual fulfillment after marriage than those who had premarital sex. At ano nga ba ang mangyayari pag nawala ang fidelity and chastity? Sa aking opinyon, madaming mahahaling o mawawala ng virginity sa murang edad. Lalong-lalo na sa pagkakamaling makabuo at magkapamilya ng hindi inaasahan sapagkat hindi pa handa at walang plano. Kaya sa aking kapwa-tao nakikinig, huwag magpadalos-dalos at sa kasal na lamang ilaan ang pakipagtalik.